Alright, Lucas here, back with another replay. I've not seen this game before. This is Gibbination against Labounty, and we are on the play with Thunder Dragon Graceful Charity Delinquent Duo. I think we'll lead with the Delinquent Duo, unless we want to discard Thunder Dragon, use Graceful, find the Dust Shoot, and delay the Delinquent Duo, which is a line. I wouldn't put the Dust Shoot into the same deck as these cards, but okay. Oh, we do go for the Thunder Dragon first. Well then, apparently we're playing Dust Shoot in this deck. Or there's something I'm missing, or maybe it was just a slight sequencing error. I don't know which. Now we fire off the duo though, since we didn't find the Dust Shoot. So this tells me we're playing as Warrior, but it could still be Chaos Turbo. I think we set the Tomato. We don't want to play around Nobleman or something. That's unnecessary. And I think we set the Tomato rather than the Mimic, so that if our opponent sets an opposing flip, we can flip the Tomato and run over a potential Dekoichi or Mimic. I wouldn't have set the MST. I just don't really see the need to do so. Could be a breaker. But I guess in case of something like a Regeki break, it's helpful. If Labounty were to set Regeki break, set the Koichi here, we can MST the break. We use the XL Force, set the card, and play Pot of Creed. We do this to play on Dust Shoot, but I think it's quite telling that we don't have the Dust Shoot, since we fired off the Delinquent Duo, but maybe I'm reading too much into it. We could chain the MST to the Pot of Greed, but I don't see any reason to do so, because Labounty doesn't have a normal summon anymore, so I don't really see what that set card could be that we're worried about this turn. Oh, so Gibby did chain the MST to the Pot of Greed, Labounty was just a bit faster. But I don't really see what this snipes, seeing as there is no normal summon. If it was like a reinforcement of the army, we could snipe it to prevent the Dawn Solug. But there's no normal summon, so I don't really understand this. I mean, once in a while, maybe a sniper graceful. I think that's very narrow though. Just turned it. Yep, makes sense. We're just going to set some card and pass. We already normal summon, so we shouldn't do that. And Gibby doesn't notice. Yeah, he notices. Yeah, they will. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now that our opponent has a Kaiku, this is the human factor. Oh, Breaker is an excellent top deck. It's a bit awkward against an opposing Kaiku, so maybe we just set the Night Assailant. Sets the Mimic. Didn't shuffle their hand. Slight misstep, I feel. Sets the call. At this point, we could guess that there's no breaker, but there still could be a breaker, obviously. But as our hand is shaping up, it would seem that breaker is probably going to be quite good eventually, either way. Goes for the graceful. Sure. Discards Black Luster Soldier, wow. So, very likely that we didn't have a light, because we know we have the Kaiku, and discarding Kaiku plus a light, or even just discarding the light, or anything else, just not discarding BLS, would likely have been the play in that case. So I don't think we're holding on to reinforcements of the army either. I would go for a hard read here that we're not going to have access to a light anytime soon, or we're not assured to, at least. Decides to go for the call here. I don't quite understand that. I don't see why we do this now. Because we're not going to Judgment or Call of the Haunted. We're not going to Torrential. I guess we could top deck a Book of Moon. In which case it makes some sense. So are we intending to crash the tomato here? That seems a bit awkward against the Kaiku. I would just play the Storm, summon Breaker, run it over. Storm is likely going to be Judgmental, but we don't know that. I will probably lead with the Storm here. This is a bit more greedy. Did we shuffle this time? Hmm. Um, I mean, it makes sense. I guess we set the Storm one. There's the Rhoda for the Swordsman. This is quite awkward. I just like having a set against warriors. Makes it a lot trickier for him to play. Because it's so unlikely we get punished. I mean, I guess a Dust Tornado. Or an MST. I guess. But those are almost always going to target this Call of the Haunted to get rid of the tomato. Because the tomato is actually a problem for them. Then we get through the Kaiko. Yeah, not sure, but okay. We ring the tomato. Now we get smacked by the Kaiku. Yeah, this could be bad. But I mean, at this point, I guess we just Storm and summon Kaiku. Or Breaker, sorry. And we're in a decent spot. So I think the play is summon Breaker, try to run over the Kaiku, and hope. Decides to go for this line. But now we don't have access to BLS. Hmm. I guess when we run over the Breaker, we do have Dark and Light. Yeah, this is fair. I like this better. So set the Knight Assailant, I guess. Didn't shuffle their hand. Okay, pop the Kaiku. Great. We don't have to summon BLS here, but I think we should. Summon Declare, set the tomato, set the book, can't lose. Summon tomato attack, can't lose. Set the book. Premature. Okay. I mean, yeah, we have book knock, so we just show. Yeah. So one game wonder. I'm not sure I agree with all the micro decisions, but maybe I was missing something. There weren't any critical moments, I guess. So we have a very clogged hand. Every card requiring a normal summon. So I think we just start setting. Yeah, at this point we're just praying. We don't have great draw. I guess we start by setting the Sangan, fearing the Mystic Swordsman level 2. But at that point maybe we're just lost. Maybe we just summon Eudora and attack bird. That could actually be the line. I think that's what I would do. I mean, if we go for Dansalug, then that's awful, but we gotta go for it, I think. So that's the Sangan. This is the safe approach. We do get paid off here, I guess. Hitting the spy. So, I mean, we're kind of forcing them into going for Mystic Swordsman or Exile Force by showing the spy. But those are awful for us, whatever we set, right? Yeah, this is so rough. I guess we just set the spy and pray. That feels so bad. All our options seem bad here. Summon Tomato pass, summon Eudora pass. I mean, if they had access to Mystic Swordsman or Exile Force, perhaps they would have used it. At least the Swordsman, right? The Swordsman would have been used, so they don't. And I guess the Nobleman would likely have been used as well. Okay, I'm into setting Tomato here. Could also set Eudora, of course. We go for the Tomato, makes sense. And our opponent is waiting for a Rota to be able to pick off our set with the Swordsman. Now I think we just set Decree, set Mimic, maybe Neudoria, probably Neudoria. But we don't set the Decree, we set the Metamorphosis. So this is to bait Dust Tornado or MST. Sure, I don't hate it. We could have a Breaker, but it also baits out the Breaker, so yeah, makes sense. Now then, so we're not sure what that is. That could be the Koichi, could be Dansaloo, can be a Didi War Lady. It's unlikely to be a Magician of Faith, seeing as we have no spells. I think the Koichi is fine, so I think we just set the Spy here and the Decree behind it. I agree. Goes for a Kaiku. Okay, that's fine. So we didn't flip their set, so now we're thinking maybe it could be a Faith with a book behind it, but that's unlikely as they had the read that our set is likely to be a Spy, and a Spy would be very good at running over a Faith, even with a book behind it, so I think now we can pin it down to like Did War Lady or Donsalug. So here we could just flip the Decree, summon the Mobius, but that might be a bit too aggressive. We don't really have to act here. We could just snatch the Kaiku as well, and if we save it with a book, then we run it over, so we can't really do that. And if a Judgment, we're super happy. And if we trade with a MST or Dust Tornado, that means our Decree is live. Looks fine to me. But we don't have to act, because at this point we're not getting through, so we could also just set a flip and pass. It's gonna be fun to see what Gibby goes for. We go for the snatch. I think I like that. So yeah, we have the read that this is Don Salug or Did War Lady. Salug and our attack goes through. Wow, that's huge. Now we could tribute summon the Kaiku, tribute summon the Mobius off of the Kaiku. Uh, that's quite poor against Torrential, but we have Decree, but then we have Judgment. So maybe that's not the best line of play. But I feel whatever we do, we're getting destroyed by the Torrential. It's gonna be fun to see what Gibby decides. We flip the Decree to check for the Judgment. We let it go, so now we definitely summon the Mobius. Because now there's no Torrential. I like this line. Yeah, we're just completely destroyed her. Oh, this is so bad. And I guess we grab level 1. Could also grab a Sangan. Also a tomato. Doesn't matter. Yeah, we're in such huge trouble here. We did get rid of our field, so now we're back to even, but we're quite far ahead. And half their top decks are going to be blanks due to the decree. Goes for this because we don't have a light. Sure, I like it. Yeah, I think we just swing. We could summon the Chaos Sorcerer, but might be necessary, might not be. Yeah, I think I would summon it. How do we get punished? I don't really see it because Exile Force, that's just fine. We got the 2300 damage. Did Warlord, that's just fine. I mean, another Smashing Ground, sure, that's also fine. I don't see how we get punished for summoning the Chaos Sorcerer here. I would have just swung for 23, tried to close the game out. That's a nice one. So, swing, discard Thunder Dragon, set the Mimic. Once again, I think this Chaos Sorcerer should be in play, but I mean, I guess. Oh, I'm so stupid. We have 1,000 less. I'm sorry. Really sorry. Um, no, I think we tribute summon the Thunder Dragon, flip the Mimic, and attempt the creature swap. Because we're scared of the War Lady. Not that we're scared, it could also be Faith. Could also be the Kochi. More just efficient. Leader with the Storm. I'm not quite sure why. Because I don't see how Book punishes us here. I guess we could book the Mimic when we receive it. Sure. Okay, now I see why. It's to free up the TR. That makes a lot of sense. Good play. So we tribute some Thunder Dragon now. Yeah, flip the Mimic. Fire off the Graceful. Discard Thunder Dragon. And I don't know. Something. Mimic perhaps. Yeah, fire off the pot. Summon the Chaos Sorcerer. That's pretty good. And summon the BLS. That's lethal. Yeah, nice going for Gibby. I'm really sorry. I think I messed this one up. Wasn't too sharp. I think Gibby played well. We didn't agree on all the decisions, but I'm not feeling too confident tonight after that Chaos Sorcerer fiasco. I'm not sure that's an English word. Yeah, nice game. I think they played well. And they defeated a strong opponent with a strong deck. We did draw quite well, but I think we maneuvered the games in a solid fashion. I didn't agree with every micro decision, and even in some what I thought were critical moments we differed, but it definitely did work out. So yeah, good game. Well played, Gibby. Uh, Thanks for the replay, and keep them coming. And this has been Lucas with a Duel review. I'll catch you next time.